Have you ever noticed how your eyes and your brain seem to slow down together? One day, you misplace your keys. The next, the words on your phone start to blur. Slowly, things that used to feel sharp, your memory, your vision, they all start to fade. And this isn't just aging. According to a 2021 report from Johns Hopkins University, over 60% of adults over 60 experience both memory challenges and vision changes at the same time. Researchers call it the dual decline. The concerning part? It's happening earlier, faster, and more quietly than we realized. Here's something most clinics won't tell you: this decline doesn't begin in your eyes or brain. It begins in the pathways that connect them, tiny neural highways, blood vessels, mitochondria, and axons that keep your brain and eyes communicating. When these pathways are inflamed, blocked, or starved of nutrients, signals slow down. Vision blurs. Memories slip. But here's the good news: the solution isn't an expensive new drug. It isn't a flashy brain training app. It isn't even more glasses or eye drops. What if the first step to restoring these pathways was already sitting in your kitchen? That's exactly what we'll explore today. If this is your first time here, I'm Dr. I've spent 30 years in functional medicine and neurology, and every week on Senior Health Compass, I help people like you reclaim clarity, energy, and independence with practical, research-backed strategies. If this is the kind of journey you're looking for, tap subscribe. No pressure, just insight. Now, let's return to those pathways. Because when they start to fail, it's not just your vision that suffers. You lose the ability to fully experience the world, reading your grandchild's handwriting, following lyrics at church, or remembering why you walked into a room. That's why today isn't about masking symptoms, it's about restoring your connection. And in the next few minutes, I'll show you how 3 simple, inexpensive root vegetables, often overlooked, can reactivate the circuits between your brain and eyes. This isn't theory, it's science. And it's powerful. Let's start with the first root, one that most people only think of at juice bars, but it could actually be the oxygen booster your retina and hippocampus are quietly craving. I'm talking about beetroot. Here's a simple question: how long can your brain survive without oxygen? About 5 minutes. After that, neurons begin to struggle. And here's something many doctors don't emphasize enough: as we age, our brain and eyes aren't lacking ideas, they're often lacking circulation. That's exactly where beetroot can help. Beetroot is rich in natural nitrates, which help widen blood vessels through a process called vasodilation. That means more oxygen reaches delicate, hard-to-reach areas like your retina and prefrontal cortex. In 2017, a study from Wake Forest University tracked 26 seniors over 60. After 6 weeks of drinking beetroot juice before exercise, their brain scans showed better connectivity in areas often affected by aging and early dementia. Another study from the University of Exeter in 2018 found that daily beetroot intake improved blood flow to the occipital lobe, the part of the brain that processes vision. Simply put, beetroot literally nourishes the parts of your brain responsible for seeing. Why does this matter? Poor circulation is a silent problem. It affects not just your heart, but your memory, decision-making, and visual clarity. As blood vessels stiffen with age, less oxygen reaches the tiny capillaries in the retina and deep folds of the hippocampus. That's when things start to feel foggy. Beetroot doesn't reverse aging, but it restores the flow. And better flow means more than sharper vision. It means your neurons get the oxygen they need to fire clearly and efficiently. One of my patients, Henry, 72, had trouble remembering faces and misreading street signs. After adding half a cup of beetroot to his lunch a few times a week, his vision steadied and his reaction times during memory tests improved in under 2 months. No magic, just circulation. It's also an eye ally. Research from the University of South Australia in 2021 found that diets rich in nitrate vegetables like beetroot were linked to a 35% lower risk of age-related macular degeneration, one of the leading causes of vision loss in seniors. In other words, beetroot helps keep your retina healthy, supporting the tiny cells that convert light into images, so your world stays sharp. How do you use it? Simple. Steam or roast raw beetroot, slice it into salads, or blend it into smoothies. Start with half a cup, 2 to 3 times a week. If you're adventurous, try pure beetroot juice, but check your blood pressure, as it can lower slightly. You'll notice the earthy taste, but with consistency, you may feel a little more clarity behind your eyes. And here's a bonus: beetroot also fuels mitochondria, the tiny energy engines inside your cells, helping fight fatigue at the cellular level. More flow. More energy. More function. This isn't just food, it's fuel for reconnection. Now that you've seen what oxygen can do, wait until you discover what a carrot can protect. Let's be clear, carrots aren't just good for your eyes. That's an oversimplification. They're more like a biological shield for your retina and a precision tool for your brain. Here's why. Carrots are one of the richest sources of beta-carotene, a compound your body converts into vitamin A. And vitamin A isn't just a nutrient, it's the building block for rhodopsin, the light-sensitive protein in your eyes that allows you to see in dim light. No rhodopsin? Night vision suffers. No vitamin A? Rhodopsin can't form, and your eyes struggle to adapt to darkness. It doesn't stop there. A 2016 study in the journal Nutrients confirmed that vitamin A deficiency is linked directly to optic nerve dysfunction and slower signal transmission from the retina to the visual cortex. In other words, the visual signals to your brain don't just fade, they stutter. When your brain receives weaker visual data, it doesn't just see less, it struggles to think, remember, and respond. That's why carrots are more than just a preventive food, they're a signal booster. In 2018, researchers at the University of Wisconsin studied over 1,700 adults over 50. Participants with higher beta-carotene intake had a significantly lower risk of cognitive decline, especially in processing speed and visual memory. Their conclusion? Protect the eye's input, and the brain's output improves. Carrots do even more than vitamin A. They're rich in lutein, a carotenoid that accumulates in the macula, the central part of the retina. Lutein works like natural sunglasses, filtering harmful blue light and reducing oxidative stress on delicate photoreceptors. A 2020 study in the Journal of the International Neuropsychological Society found that older adults with higher lutein levels had stronger neural responses in visual attention tasks, meaning better focus and faster recognition even under pressure. They also contain falcarinol, a natural compound with neuroprotective properties. Early trials at Newcastle University in 2019 suggested falcarinol may help protect brain cells from age-related damage by lowering inflammation in neural tissue. And inflammation is no small issue. Chronic neuroinflammation quietly drives memory loss and blurred vision in older adults. By adding anti-inflammatory compounds like falcarinol through food, you give your brain a gentle, natural chance to repair itself. Let's talk bioavailability. Cooking carrots actually enhances beta-carotene absorption. Light steaming or sautéing them with a healthy fat, like olive oil, helps unlock more of their brain and eye-boosting potential. Raw is good, but lightly cooked often works better for your neurons. Juicing is another excellent option, just combine with fiber, protein, or fat to slow sugar absorption. Even a simple carrot ginger soup can become a neural cocktail for the aging brain. Here's something most people don't realize: the eyes don't just send information to the brain, they receive feedback from it too. When you focus on an object, it's not just your eyes adjusting, it's your brain directing that focus through precise motor commands. If the pathway between brain and eye is weak, even your ability to focus slows down. Carrots strengthen the retina and improve visual signal quality, allowing your brain to regain precise control over vision. You're not just seeing better, you're commanding your vision more effectively. Carrots might seem ordinary, but in the right context, at the right stage of life, they become a shield, a lens, and a neural upgrade. So the next time someone says carrots are just for eye health, you'll know they're missing the bigger picture. What your eyes see shapes what your brain becomes. While carrots sharpen the signal, your system still needs steady fuel, and that's where the unsung hero, sweet potato, comes in. Let's be honest, most people don't take blood sugar seriously until a diabetes diagnosis. But your brain cares about it every second of the day. Even though it makes up only 2% of your body weight, your brain consumes over 20% of your glucose. Unlike muscles or liver, it can't store energy. It depends on a constant, stable supply. The moment blood sugar drops, focus falters. Eyes strain. Names slip from memory mid-sentence. You stare at the TV, unable to follow a simple story. And it happens more often than we realize. Sweet potatoes are an often overlooked ally because, unlike processed carbs that spike sugar and crash it down, they're packed with complex carbohydrates. These break down slowly, delivering sustained energy. They stabilize the ride, not just fuel it. That's just the beginning. Sweet potatoes are rich in vitamin B6, essential for creating neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and GABA, the brain's messengers that control mood, memory, visual processing, and sleep. A 2015 study in applied physiology, nutrition, and metabolism showed that B6 deficiency slows visual reaction time and memory recall in older adults. Restoring B6 improved both cognitive and visual performance. And there's more. Sweet potatoes, especially purple varieties, contain anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants. Research shows they reduce inflammation in neural tissue and protect retinal cells from oxidative stress. A 2020 review in Antioxidants highlighted that anthocyanins improve spatial memory, neuroplasticity, and retinal microcirculation, helping older adults maintain both visual clarity and mental sharpness. In simple terms, sweet potatoes don't just feed your brain, they calm, protect, and stabilize it. And that stability shows up in small, life-changing ways. One patient, Maria, 68, used to feel drained by 3 p.m., with blurred vision and trouble finishing simple tasks like reading a recipe. After swapping her morning toast for half a baked sweet potato, the crashes stopped. She felt sharper, steadier, and more in control by the end of the day. Steady glucose doesn't just prevent collapse, it extends your presence. More focus, less fatigue. More control, less confusion. Sweet potatoes are also high in fiber, which slows digestion and smooths glucose release further. That steady supply matters for your retina too, which depends on continuous oxygen and nutrient delivery. Don't forget manganese, another mineral in sweet potatoes. It supports enzyme reactions that regulate energy metabolism and neural efficiency. Low manganese has been linked to reduced attention span and eye coordination in seniors, according to a 2019 study in the Journal of Trace Elements in Medicine and Biology. How to use sweet potatoes. Keep it simple: baked, steamed, or roasted with a sprinkle of cinnamon. Pair with protein, like eggs or nuts, to extend the energy release. Try mashed sweet potato for breakfast instead of cereal, or thin roasted slices for an evening snack. For a visual boost, choose purple or orange varieties, they have the highest antioxidant content. Remember this: when you feel mentally foggy or visually tired, your nervous system might not be failing, it might just be underfueled. Sweet potatoes don't promise miracles, but they deliver stability. And when it comes to brain and eye health, stability is power. We've already explored the essentials: boosting blood flow, clarifying signals, and keeping energy steady. Now, it's time to bring it all together. How do you turn these 3 powerful roots into a daily routine that actually fits your life? That's exactly what we'll unpack next. So here's what you need to know: 3 simple roots: beetroot, carrot, sweet potato. Each one has a very specific job for your brain and your eyes. But here's the thing: knowledge alone won't change anything. Action does. And that's where everything shifts. I'm not going to ask you to follow a 28-day challenge or drink green sludge every morning. I'm here to show you how to fit what we've learned into the life you already live, practical, simple, doable steps. Morning, instead of reaching for toast or cereal, try mashing half a baked sweet potato with a sprinkle of cinnamon and a spoon of yogurt or nut butter. It fuels your brain, steadies blood sugar, and keeps your eyes sharp through the morning. Midday, add color and crunch. Toss shredded raw carrots and thin beet slices into your salad, or blend them into a smoothie with half a banana and water. It's simple, earthy, natural, and your neurons will thank you. Dinner, roast chunks of carrot, beet, and sweet potato with olive oil and rosemary. Serve alongside your favorite protein. Warm, satisfying, nourishing. This isn't a detox. It's real food that rebuilds real connections. You don't have to eat all 3 roots every single day, aim for 2 or 3 servings across the week. Rotate them: beet juice on Monday, carrot soup on Wednesday, roasted sweet potato on Saturday. Small, sustainable, intentional steps. Here's something important: paying attention to what you eat sharpens your brain, not just from nutrients, but from intention. That's something no supplement bottle can give you. Presence. Connection. Ownership. If you're caring for a loved one, involve them. Chop together. Stir together. Smell the aroma. Feel the textures. This sensory engagement isn't just cooking, it's therapy in motion. And if you're on a budget, these foods are perfect. They're cheap, easy to store, and have always been here. You just needed to know how to use them. Start with one change. Pick one root. Add it this week. Notice what shifts: your afternoon energy might last longer, your eyes might feel less dry, your mind a little clearer. That's not coincidence, that's your body responding to nourishment. Day by day, bite by bite, those broken brain-eye connections don't just stabilize, they regenerate. Your brain doesn't need saving, it needs support. Your vision doesn't need a miracle, it needs momentum. Start small. Pick one root. Take one bite. Feel the difference. If you want more tips to keep your mind and eyes sharp, subscribe and join me on this journey. I'm Dr. Alan Reeves. Stay sharp, stay kind, and stay curious.